I didn't think I was going to have to make a video talking about this, but apparently I'm going to have to do so. And yes, it does deal with this tweet that Roland Martin put out there, but it also is going to deal with the comments to follow. As you all know, I have the community tab on my page now, and I'm able to leave posts up and allow people to respond. That's a non-video type post. It could be a post of a picture, it can be a link to another video, or it can just be a regular post, almost like Twitter or Facebook, something like that. So Roland Martin had made this post yesterday on his page, because of the election, and this was his tweet, in which I said was a disgrace. You can see it at the top above the post. It says, "Why must you vote today? Because Trayvon Martin can't, because Rekia Boyd can't, because John Crawford III can't, because Eric Garner can't, because Jordan Davis can't, because Aiyana Jones can't. Hashtag Black Votes Matter, hashtag Be Woke Vote, hashtag Vote or Shut the Hell Up." That sounds very inviting. And hashtag Roland Martin Unfiltered. Now, I and many others have a problem with people, especially other black people, trying to guilt black people into voting for their candidate, most likely a Democrat. That's one thing. But when you try to double down and guilt trip us by using the deceased bodies of police brutality or this system, now that's a problem. Now, I wonder, can anybody in the comment section tell me what all of these names have in common? Okay, you can't? I'll tell you. All of these people, all these individuals who were killed unjustly, all were killed and murdered under the Obama administration. Not one of these individuals died under Trump. They all died they were all killed between like the years of 2012, because I believe that Trayvon Martin would be the earliest one, and I think maybe to 2014. So all within a 2-year span. But they were all under the Obama second administration, his second term. Not me sitting here defending, sitting here making it seem like I'm defending Trump or anything like that, but I think it's very ironic that he chose the names that happened under the previous administration. So it makes you wonder, where was all of this during his administration, during midterms of his administration? Just something to think about. But anyway, my problem was more so with this post. But there were some comments that were left underneath this particular post that is one of the main reasons as to why I'm making this video. Now, not everybody left crazy posts coming at me or anything like that, but I thought it was amazing how people came at my neck and did not feel that Roland Martin was wrong for making this post, and which was what this was supposed to be about. It wasn't supposed to be about me saying, don't go vote, don't do this, don't do that. That's not what I was saying. The thing was about the post itself, but apparently some trolls, at least that's what they came off to me, got so upset that I posted this and left the caption and said that this was a disgrace. So I'm going to scroll through these comments, and I think it was 67 of them based on what I saw, and we're going to read them. Not every last one of them, but the clear and obvious trolls. Okay, we will start with this particular comment right here. They said, if voting doesn't mean anything and or won't help anything, what are we supposed to do? I don't see the logic of going out of our way to not take advantage of government systems to push our agenda and make policies and legislations that help us. It's not that hard to comprehend. While that could be true, think of the Asian community. I know we are not a big fan of them, but we always like to use them as an example because they are considered a quote-unquote non-white minority, and I use those in big quotes for them. Notice that they don't have a big voter turnout. If any of y'all look at the coverage they do on any election, do you notice how you don't see any Asians or little to no Asians at any of these polls? It is usually your usual suspects: white people, black people, and Latinos. You rarely ever see any Asians. Notice that also when they're talking about voting polls, they say white, black, Hispanic, or Latino, and then they say other. Asians usually fall under that other category if they fall under any category at all. Now, they have a huge economic base. They don't need these elections because they already know that they can form something up without it. If black people were on a united front and had that same kind of base, as well as other tangible things, we would fall into that other category too. Black people still continue to vote without an agenda. Many black people just go and blindly vote. And it gets proven each and every single time. Unfortunately. Even on a local level. I saw a sign a couple days ago that said, stop Trump, vote Democrat. First off, this is the midterms, not the national election. And you're telling people to go vote Democrat, but you're not telling them why they need to be voting Democrat. That's no different than you having Candace Owens doing this whole Brexit thing and telling black people to leave the Democratic plantation to go to the Republican Party, even though that's just another plantation. Do you see where I'm going with this? Let me continue on to the next topic, and then the next person. Now, this one right here was a huge problem for me. This Nikki H person, or whoever they are, they left so many damn comments, it's ridiculous. It says, black people, stop tearing each other down. You all know what the fuck he's trying to say. I vote. Yes, I fucking vote. Stop it with your fake ass keyboard YouTube revolution and get the fuck off your ass and help the community that suffers because we don't have progressive representation. What the fuck are you all doing? Are you helping clean up your communities? Are you starting food banks? Are you helping with healthcare? We are black Americans and we know nothing else but this country. We got to stop with this voting don't matter shit. Unless you all are ready to leave this country or fight in a civil war, we are outnumbered. Shut the fuck up telling other black people not to vote. Fake ass revolutionaries talk. Shut the fuck up. Okay. This is going to be, like I said, this is one of a few comments that you're going to see from this person because this person left a couple of comments. I'm going to have to break this down. Stop tearing each other down. First off, I wasn't tearing anybody down. All I ask is, why do you vote? Who you voting for? Why are you voting for them? And things of that nature. How is that tearing them down? Those are legit questions to ask. Because a lot of people don't ask those questions, except a few. That's not tearing the person down. That's asking questions. They say, you all know what the fuck he's trying to say. No, I don't know what he's trying to say, but enlighten me, since you know. They said, I vote. Yes, I fucking vote. Well, congratulations. You got your sticker. So stop it with your fake ass keyboard YouTube revolution and get the fuck off your ass and help the community that suffers because we don't have progressive representation. Yet you are on the computer typing this shit out to me. Are you doing that? Which leads into this part. It says, what are you doing? What are you doing? Are you helping clean up your communities? Are you starting a food bank? Are you helping with healthcare? And I'm talking to you, Nikki H. It says, we are black Americans and we know nothing else but this country. It says, we've got to stop this voting don't matter shit. Unless you are all ready to leave this country or fight in a civil war. Like I said, this person was so upset that they left a few comments. But let me continue because their comments actually get more ridiculous as they go on. See, here's another comment. This is a couple comments later. They said, you just don't get it. See, I'm trying to figure out why this person is leaving a comment like this is a video and they're responding to every point in the video, but it was just a post. And then I commented, I got your point the first time. No need to parrot yourself like the pet store pet. But unfortunately, they will later, as you can tell, they will later on continue to do just that. Now, here was a funny comment. This Lady J Smooth said, Roland is more man than you will ever be. So now this person is attacking my manhood. They don't get no more ignorant than a black fool making YouTube videos. I have a question for those in the comments who's looking at this right now. Do y'all think I'm a black fool? Be honest. Making YouTube videos and thinking that's helping the black community. Actually, as a matter of fact, I've actually had a lot of people tell me that they enjoy my videos and that that they feel that I am good for the black community in some of the comments that I've said. And I'm not just blowing hot air out of my ass. But I've actually seen those comments and I thank them for saying that. Because sometimes I'm wondering if I'm doing my part. And I've actually gotten comments and compliments from people that are way better than you will ever be, Lady J Smooth, like Professor Black Truth, who has praised my commentaries on a few occasions. Boys, first off, I'm not a boy. Stop embarrassing yourself and you get what Roland got, which is knowledge. Well, at least I still have a platform that is actually very, good, because, he lost his on TV on One. But okay. Let's not forget that Roland Martin had Richard Spencer on his show, and he let Richard Spencer completely run that interview, and Richard Spencer put Roland Martin in his place on his platform. He constantly let Cancer Phillips come on there and spew that black feminist rhetoric, talking about black men need to acknowledge rape culture and all this shit. Let him come on there, and when they was putting Birth of a Nation was being promoted, and he completely did not put Amber in check against the actress that was there, just completely disrespectful. And then he did the ultimate jig for Hillary Clinton when she was running for president against Donald Trump 2 years ago. So explain to me all of that. See, you know what it is? It's people that are fans of Roland Martin that are coming at my neck. If this was like me talking about Candace Owens or somebody else, they probably would be all for that because they don't like her. But because it's Roland Martin, they're going to do this. This is the same thing that they did when I talked about Tiffany Haddish and a couple of other people it's like I can't even critique somebody that they like, because then that's when they'll come in the comment section and start coming at my neck. It's because they are fans of these people, of these individuals. That's why. That's what it is. But let me continue. Here we are again with this Nikki H person who says, it's sickening the things you are all saying in the comments about this black man. Sad. None of you are pro-black. You are more pro-whack. You all are attacking him for encouraging black people to participate in voting. Are you serious? Pathetic. Torian, you will never get a dime from me. I thought that last part was funny, but let me address this part. The stuff that people are saying about Roland Martin, most of that shit, damn near all of it is true. If you actually did your research, a lot of that is true. See, like, it goes back to the point that I just said. These individuals are fans. That's why they are upset. If they didn't like Roland Martin, they would be in here saying the same shit. And it's not like they're really talking about him in an opinionated way. A lot of stuff that they're saying about him is facts. Now, let me address this last part. Torian, you will never get a dime from me. Well, Nikki H, your name never popped up in my PayPal notifications, nor in my Patreon notifications, nor have you sent me any suggestions to talk about as far as topics are concerned. I never received an email from you, so you never contributed to any conversation except this one. Because I've never even seen your name pop up in my comment sections under my videos. I clicked on your page and it said you only had 6 subscribers, so you're most likely a troll. But you know what I'm going to do after this video? Since you're talking about I won't get a dime from you, well, guess what you're going to get from me? A block in the form of a donation. That's my gift to you. Let me continue. Okay, this is a real simple one. It says, don't vote, don't complain. Well, guess what? That's fine, because I didn't vote in the last election, and I haven't complained one bit yet. And this has been, 2 years? I didn't vote in the national election, and I don't feel bad. I do not feel a thing. I do not feel a thing. Yes, Donald Trump and 45 and a lot of stuff, he gets on my nerves, but guess what? I knew that shit was going to happen. I called a lot of this shit out. Now, here's my thing to you, and this is one thing a lot of people don't call out. To those who say that if we don't vote, don't complain, well, I have a question for you. For those of you who voted and the person who you voted for gets in and they don't do shit, are you going to not complain? That's what I'd like to know. And what if the person because I haven't heard anything, speaking of this, that Doug Jones has done in particular for black women since he got elected, since he got put in his position a few months ago, and black women were a huge part of his base. A huge part of his base. It said that a lot of them, they voted in record numbers because they wanted to get the other guy out. And that's what a lot of people did. I'm going to save that point for the end. Let me keep on going. Okay, here's another comment. It says, if our vote didn't count, why do they try so hard to suppress it? True, Trump was picked, not voted in. But do you understand why? Yeah, because of the Electoral College. I could have sworn people already knew that. It says, if you did, you would vote. Listen, that Electoral College thing ain't going anywhere no time soon. The Most High said, my people perish for lack of knowledge. If you see that they are passionate about a cause, you need to get on board and be more passionate about it. They knew we wouldn't vote. They banked on it. I'm glad the Most High has our back because we do a piss poor ass of backing up one another. Well, I'm guessing your Most High must have been a Democrat because that's exactly what it sounds like you're being right now. And this is I'm like I said, I'm gonna save that point for the end. That one major point I want to make. I want to say it now, but I'm gonna wait till the end of this video to make it. See, it's a lot of emotional people that are pushing people to say that to vote Democrat, but they're not saying it. But I see what they're doing. They're little Jedi mind tricks, like saying our ancestors died, and I think that's a comment that's going to be coming up soon. And all of that stuff, it doesn't work on me, and a lot of people. And why do they try so hard to suppress it? Notice that we're not the only votes that they're trying to suppress. Anybody who's not white, they're trying to suppress. If they could have this stuff be lily white, they could and they would. And I actually had a discussion with somebody on Facebook yesterday. At the end of the day, a lot of them are taking funds. Money is, they're putting your money where your mouth is. As long as they are getting paid, they're going to work for those who pay them. Almost, and just a little bit for the people that voted them in. Votes are free, but that money is something else. And as they say, money talks, bullshit walks. Okay, this person says, if you do not vote, you have no right to complain. This is going back to another comment. It says, about conditions in this country. Many of these comments are disgraceful. Listen, even if we do vote, and all of us were to vote, this country, or this establishment, as I like to call it, would still be in a disarray. Will still be messed up. Because it's too far gone. It's too far gone. Look at the past elections that black people have participated in huge numbers. The previous administration before this one. And it got worse for black people. You saw Roland Martin named all them people that were murdered. All of that happened under the Obama administration. Is this thing on? Damn. It's I don't know. Reading this stuff is stressful. It really is. I'm almost at the 20-minute mark with this damn video. Dealing with these damn troll comments under this one post. The conditions will never change because we are in a system. Notice that that on a ballot, on a universal ballot, it doesn't say, if you want to vote to remove the system of white supremacy, check yes and or no. Notice that's never on the ballot because they'll never admit that it's there. And if it was, it will still be in effect because most white people are going to vote for it. Although that would be very interesting to see what white people would think or what white people would say as far as the removal of that. But you know what? Let me continue. Okay, here's another one. It says, you niggas are the dumbest fucks in the world. You vote because your black ass could be a fucking slave again. You vote because police could be killing a lot more of you. They're going to do that regardless. I'm curious though. Let's see how many unarmed black people get killed from today until this time next year. Under, since apparently voting in these elections is going to slow down the killing of unarmed black people. It says you vote to educate your children properly. Well, first off, you should be educating your children regardless. You vote because it could be worse. Okay, I mean, you could be in Europe getting your fucking head dope, dude. In what was you trying to say right now? It says you motherfuckers don't know when you have it good, do we? And it all came because a nigga like you died for you to vote. So bitch, stop making and they missed it. And this person can't type or spell already. You need maybe it's good that you voted because maybe it's not good because I don't know what kind of education you got, But if you talk like you type, I can imagine how having a conversation with you would be ultimately stressful. This is stressful reading this. I feel like I'm losing brain cells reading this or trying to read this. And look at this. And participate in this democracy. See, they're trying to campaign for you to be a Whew. I feel like I need the woosah after reading this shit. And I'm not even done. Then they said, or shut the fuck up. And they put that as a hashtag. And let grown niggas give politicians the business. This person right here, whose name is Demand O Pluto, I'm about to block you as well, just because this whole thing that you typed, that was just one big mess. Just off of that alone. Like, none of that shit made any sense. Let me continue. Okay, here's the comment right here when I was talking about the ancestors. They said the mentality of not voting because you think it's a waste of time is the reason we have a judicial system that is totally against black people, which is why voting for your governor, senator, and congressman is very important. Our ancestors were murdered so we would have the right to vote. Okay, this is something that I saw repeatedly yesterday. This whole our ancestors died to vote and all of this and all of that. Well, our ancestors died to vote because they felt that they could, it could be equality or bring equality, as far as us goes. But over the years, it's become bastardized into something else. And then again, that's being used as a guilt trip to use against us to say, you know what, they did die for us to vote. Let me go ahead and do this in the name of my ancestors. But also, a lot of our ancestors voted because they wanted to assimilate into that society. And they felt that was one of the few things they had to do in order to accomplish that. Now, it is so funny how you have a lot of black people who talk about this voting this and voting that, and then have the nerve to quote Malcolm X at the same time when he was talking about voting and why black people shouldn't participate in it unless there's an agenda. They always say vote if you have an agenda, then do it. Like I said, this goes back to that whole blind voting thing and voting out of emotion and fear. But I'm going to talk about that at the end. Okay, y'all, I made it to the end. It's like almost 24 minutes. Almost 23 minutes, I'm sorry. But, yeah, I said in conclusion, I say all of that to say this, and I have to shout out Professor Black Truth, Jason Black, and Chris Miller, because they did videos. Those three men did videos similar to what I'm saying. A lot of black people are voting out of emotional and fear-based foundations. If you was to ask a lot of black people why did they vote, or not so much why did they vote, or well, that too. Why did they vote? They'll say the same thing I said about that sign, because they want to stick it to Trump, or they want to get Trump up out of it. Listen, if we're fortunate, Trump will be out of there in 2020. If they impeach him, hey, kudos. If you ask them who they voted for, they'll tell you that, or why, and why did they vote for that person? A lot of them couldn't tell you. They'll only say because he was a Democrat. Or what policies, did you listen to any of their speeches? Did you go to any of their rallies if you live near them? A whole bunch of other stuff. But a lot of black people, unfortunately, are politically naive. I used to be the same way. Like when Obama, when he ran, I, like many black people who's probably listening to this right now, said we're gonna vote for him because this man is black, and we like hearing him talk. And for me, that was the first time I voted in an election. It was back in 2008. I was 19, so I was able to vote for the first time ever. So that was a big deal for me, and I voted. Like many people, that was probably one of the biggest black vote turnouts ever in history. Never again will we see anything like that, probably. But since then, I've learned, and I've started to do the research and listen to intellectual people who speak on this. And it's not just listen, but also to research what they're saying to make sure that they're not just blowing hot air. But the thing is, because people are fans, because that's basically what it is, it's a fandom, You cannot critique them and think that you're going to remain unscathed, like me reading some of these comments. But it is what it is. That is their opinion. But like I said, 2 of the people who I read are going to be blocked at the end of this video. Like when I click the stop button, they will be blocked. Because it's one thing you have an opinion, but there's another thing where you come and be very disrespectful. And that's how a lot of people who left those comments were very disrespectful. Like they couldn't, a lot of them couldn't simply just disagree with what I was, with this post. They just had to double down. Oh, I'm not going to donate to you. Oh, you're pathetic. He's more of a man than you. Whatever. It is what it is. But all I'm saying is that stop voting out of emotion and fear. Know what these people are going to do for you. Just because they're a Democrat don't mean that they're for you. A lot of them are probably wear the mask of a Democrat, but underneath that mask they are a Republican. And they're not going to do a damn thing for you. Just ask the countless many of black people who voted for so and so, they got in, and ask them maybe a couple months later, what have they done for you? A lot of black people don't come with an agenda, unfortunately. And that's why these politicians, or as I like to call them, politicians, run all over you a few times over, and you still continue to allow it to happen because you got that Republican out. You put that Democrat in, but they're no better than that Republican that you got out of there. But that's really all I have to say about this. I think this video went on way longer than I wanted it to. Y'all let me know what you think down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. The links will be in the description. I'll talk to you in the next one.